Jalen Reagor, what the hell is going on in Vikings land? All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar. Vikings just continue to mix shit up, which I absolutely love. They have officially traded for wide receiver Jalen Reagor from the Philadelphia Eagles, giving up a potential 4th or 5th rounder and a 7th. So the 4th or 5th will depend on how much he plays, blah, 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 blah. We'll see how that shakes out. But basically, I'm guessing it's probably like a 5th and a 7th for the former first-round pick that we know was taken one pick ahead of Justin Jefferson in that 2020 NFL draft. In fact, everybody knows that when he was taken, Zimmer and Spielman were pretty much laughing at the fact that they're going to get Justin Jefferson. They couldn't believe Reagor was gone. We're going to dive into this. Before we get into that, remember, subscribe to the channel, like the videos right there, hit that sub button. We're talking Vikings hot and heavy multiple times a day. So be sure to subscribe. Also, grab yourself a cold Lift Bridge brew as you subscribe and slam that thing in honor of Jalen Reagor. So initially, before we get into how this affects the Vikings, a little background on Jalen Reagor. If that ends up being a 4th round pick, does that seem a little steep? I mean, I don't want to get greedy here. It's as of now, Jalen Reagor, you can consider him a fairly good sized bust considering where he went and players that went after him. So 4th rounder, we'll see how that shakes out. I'd be more than happy to give up a 4th rounder for a very reliable punt returner, which Reagor is, which we'll talk about. Reagor, 5'11", 197, career 64 receptions, 695 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Started in 24 games for Philly out of the 28 he has played in. Like I said, he was picked 1 pick before Jefferson. Thank God for that. Punt returner. This is what gets me excited. He's a good punt returner. The dude's got speed. He's got moves. He can make things happen. And as of now, Smith-Marsette is kind of slotted in to be that punt returner. But something tells me Jalen Reagor is going to take that away from him very, very quickly. So at worst case scenario, we have a punt returner that we can rely on, and that could actually take it to the house. I believe he had a punt return touchdown, not last year, but the year before. I mean, he averaged 7.3 yards a punt return. It's nothing overly great, but I just want a reliable guy back there that can catch it, that could possibly take it to the house. At the combine, he ran a 4.47. He's got good speed. Looking at his draft profiles and remembering Jalen Reagor, because Reagor was actually kind of floated around the Vikings. The Vikings, Justin Jefferson wasn't supposed to be on the board, so everybody's kind of looking at Jalen Reagor as a potential guy who could come to Minnesota. So I remember him quite well. His big thing, speed, home run type potential, silky smooth, plays like a running back in space, can make things happen. And that's what he's going to bring to the Vikings. Hopefully they can pull out some of that potential that the Eagles were not able to find. Be that home run type guy, be a gadget guy that they can get the balls or get the ball into his hands and make things happen. I mean, I don't think anyone's really thinking he's going to come here and be that 1st round pick that everybody hoped, that the Eagles hoped to get out of him and be that number 1 or number 2 receiver. Obviously, that ain't going to happen, but he's going to have some very good depth, and it'll be interesting to see where Smith-Marsette and Reagor end up on the wide receiver depth chart. Does Reagor come in and actually take that number 4 spot from him, or does he just kind of settle in as a guy who maybe sees the field a handful of times and is their punt returner? We'll see. I like it. I don't like the thought of giving up a 4th round pick, but if it pans out, well worth it. It's just funny that Jalen Reagor, of all players, now we have 2 first-round wide receivers from the 2020 draft. And Will Reagor put out a tweet that that's got some teeth. He says Kwesi has made a league high 6 trades during the draft, and now he's made 4 trades in the last 10 days, including 3 since yesterday. The dude is a wheeler and dealer, and that is absolutely true. He is not scared. The man's got a set. He is not scared to make things happen. And if he's got to throw a 4th round pick in it, damn it, we're going to do it. He is making this team better. You can't say that this team isn't better now that we have Jalen Reagor. I mean, it is better. It's better. Absolutely better. Wide receiver, we just have to have realistic expectation when it comes to the wide receiver thing. If he ends up, I mean, Adam Thielen, by no means is he long for the world for the Vikings. But I mean, if Reagor comes in, maybe he ends up being a pretty good 3. Maybe KJ Osborne and him kind of battle out that spot. I mean, I'm getting a little wishful thinking here, but we'll see what happens. He's still on his rookie contract. Jalen Reagor is officially a Minnesota Viking. I haven't seen who they've released yet. We'll see, but now that bumps him up to 6 wide receivers, counting Naylor at the bottom of that depth chart. Let me know in the comments. Are you excited? Could you care less? Did they give up too much? Would love to hear. Be sure, hit that sub button and join Lupagus and I live tonight for Horned Up. We got so much to talk about and so many beers to drink. I cannot wait.